it's Colleen here again from Crafty Mumma BowTutuful, and we are going to be using these gorgeous fabrics from the Polka Dotted Peach Supply Company. I did an unboxing video in my last video that I uploaded, and I showed these beautiful lace embossed fabrics that I got. These were kindly shipped to me from America to use in my video, so I can't wait to now actually make a bow with them because I haven't touched them yet, as you can see. So I've got this gorgeous pink and the matching plain leatherette, and then I've got this lovely green and the plain leatherette to match that as well. I'm going to go for the pink today. I think I might have to save this, or at least some of it, for Christmas time, because I think this will make a gorgeous Christmas bow. For Christmas I always think of the reds and then of course your golds and silvers, so I think this would make a gorgeous bow for Christmas time. So I might save at least some of this for around Christmas. You will see me use that in another video. So we're going to be using the pink today, and with this I've got this lace trim. I've had this a while. I actually bought this was in a basket in a craft shop. The craft shop is called So Simple, and it's just a local little craft shop, and they have like baskets with little offcuts on, and I found this reel of black lace and I thought, oh, I have to have that because that looks lovely if you line ribbon with it or just make a bow with it in itself. That's just really nice to add a little bit of different texture. So that is what I'm going to be using with this lace fabric today. I've also got this gorgeous hot pink iridescent pearl with a rhinestone trim, and I thought that goes really lovely with this fabric, so we're going to use that as well. I'm not going to use much else because with this fabric it is just so stunning that you don't need to work really hard to get a nice bow, because it is just so beautiful. Just the plainest bow with this fabric, it will look gorgeous anyway. So that is all we're going to use with our bow today, is the lace and the rhinestone. And I've got this template. I bought this from AliExpress. I will link everything, the Polka Dotted Peach shop and the product, in the description below. I will link the template, the rhinestones, and I'll try and find the closest I can to the lace, and I'll link that as well. So this template is what we're going to use today. Now, as you can see, this is actually a die, not a template, but sometimes instead of getting all my die cut machine out, I will just draw around these as a template. So that is what I'm going to do today for the video. So I'm going to obviously use my lace for my loops, and I'm going to use the hot pink for my tails. So I'm going to draw around these on the back of my fabrics, and then we can cut them out. For the tails, I'm going to slightly lengthen them a bit because I actually want these to be a bit wider, so they stick out a bit further than they normally would. You'll see why when we get to it. So I'm going to draw around these tails. I'm going to draw around one half first, and then I'm going to move it slightly across to widen it, and then draw around the other half. Now, as you can see, that's quite hard to draw around because it is meant to be a die, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut inside the pen line so I can shape it as I'm going. So what I'll do is, as I come round to these bits, I always cut inside the pen line as well. So I'm cutting inside the pen line. And the same on this side. I'm just going to come from this top and come down. So it comes out like that. So this is what the loops look like when you've cut them out. As you can see, I cut right inside the pen line, and that just left that little gap that you need for when you form this bow. That's just enough gap. You can't quite see it on this side because of the pattern. The fabric cut through beautifully. I've got my Fiskars razor edge scissors, and these cut through this fabric so easily. It's a gorgeous fabric to work with. And now I'm going to cut out my tails. And I'm going to, again, cut inside the pen line, and when I get to this middle, I'll just join them up straight across with a little line. That is now the tails cut out, and as you can see, I've lengthened that by around 1 centimetre in that centre, just to make that 1/2 centimetre sticking out more either side. So now we can use our hot glue gun and we can assemble our bow. So I'm going to pop glue on these parts first, these smaller thin parts on the outside. So just pop a little bit of glue on the end of those, and I'm going to bring them into my centre. I'll do the other side as well. So just on these outside parts, bringing those into the centre. And then we can bring our bigger parts into the centre. And place a little bit of glue on either end of those. And bring those in. So we're going to flip that over, and on the underside place some glue, and then we can flip that over and then attach it to our tails. I actually like these tails sticking out a little bit further anyway, because you would have seen about 1/2 centimetre each side less of that if I hadn't have widened it. So it's actually quite nice being that little bit wider. The actual bow itself across the tails measures 3.5 inches or 9 centimetres across, so that's a nice sort of medium sized bow. That's one of my most popular bows that I sell, and that my little girl likes to wear them too, that size. Right, next I'm going to add my clip now. So I've already lined a clip in some hot pink. So I'm going to place that onto the bottom in the centre. And next we're going to do our lace. So from this lace, I've cut a 4-inch length piece. You need 2 pieces, and they are 4 inches long or 10 centimetres in length. I've already done one side ready. I'm using white cotton. I'd normally use black really, but I wanted to use white so you can see where I'm sewing. So I've got some double strand thread knotted at the end, and taken my 4-inch piece of lace, I'm going to weave sew all the way along this bottom edge. So I'm just going to go in and out all the way along that bottom edge till I get to the other end. And when you get to the end, I'm going to pull that through, but I don't want to pull that pinch too tightly, just about like that. So it's the same as this one, so it's got a little bit of movement there. Just make sure they're both the same, and then on the end I'm just going to go through a couple of times to seal that little loose pinch, if you want to call it. Just go through that to knot it off, and then trim off the excess cotton. Trim this side off as well. So we've got two pieces like this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that underneath my loops on top of the tails. So I'm just going to pop it in so far so that just poke out, and you can just see through that lace with the pink showing through, and that is going to give that a gorgeous finish. So I'm just going to use my hot glue. Pop some hot glue along that little part that I've just sewn. Carefully fold that over. You have to be careful with lace because obviously that is sort of holy and you will get glue on your fingers if you're not careful. So I'm just going to tuck that in where I want it and stick that down like that. So that's one side done, and then I'm going to repeat the same with the opposite side. I'm just finding the underside. So again, I'm going to just lift up those loops. Place that on there, making sure that's sticking out the same on both sides. So this is what we've got so far, and next we're going to wrap around the centre of our bow. So I'm going to use just a piece of the hot pink fabric, and I'm just going to cut a thin little strip around 2.5 inches in length. So that's just under 1 centimetre wide, and it's about 5 centimetres in length. I've just done that by eye, and I'm going to wrap that around the centre of my bow. Still didn't need all that length, and that was only 5 centimetres in length. But I'd rather cut too much than too little. And just finish sticking that underneath my clip. Just removing any stringy bits of glue. So this is what we've got now, and now we are ready to add our gorgeous pearl into the centre. So to do that, I'm going to use Gorilla Super Glue Gel, but I'm also going to use hot glue because this glue is really good on clays. You don't need anything else, just this on clays. But when it's got like this shiny metal back, this sometimes can be pulled off with the Gorilla Glue Gel. Still quite hard to pull it off, but that can be. So I've got a tiny little piece of felt to stick on there. The reason being, hot glue sticks felt to anything. Felt and hot glue just go really well together. I've also scratched the back of my gem, as you can see, with my scissors, just to give it a rough finish, just to help even more. so that glue can seep into those scratches and get even more grip. And then I'm going to use my hot glue and my Gorilla Glue gel. Hot glue obviously sets quite quickly, so I'm going to put my Gorilla Glue gel on first because you get a little bit more time with that. So I'm going to open my glue to give it a little shake. And I'm just going to pop that around the sides. And then very carefully put my hot glue onto the felt in the centre. But I don't want to mix the hot glue and the super glue because otherwise that will go against each other and that will affect the way both glues work. So I've carefully popped that hot glue on there. And I'm going to line that up in the centre, and then that hot glue will take straight away, while that super glue will take just a couple of minutes to set. But then that just gives me sort of double peace of mind that hopefully that gem will stay on there for a long time to come, for lots of wears. And there you have your finished hot pink and lace hair bow. That is absolutely stunning. I love this bow. This fabric, like I said, you don't want to add too much to it because you're going to cover the print. So just that little bit of lace and that gem in the middle, that just brings that all together and makes that pop even more, that gorgeous print. The Polka Dotted Peach Supply Co, where this fabric comes from, they've now relaunched their website. That's actually all up and running today, all brand new, and they've also got all the new products on there as well with the relaunch, so go and check that out. I will pop a link in the description under this video. I will also link the gems and nearest as I can get to this lace in the description as well. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button that comes up on the screen now, and press the bell below the video to turn on notifications, and if you don't mind, give me a like. Thank you for watching everyone. Bye bye.